Hello everybody and welcome to the 43rd episode of Strawberry Patches podcast. My name is Marina. I'm coming to you from Auckland, New Zealand, and I'm very happy to see you here. If you are new, then welcome to this lovely crafty place from the other side of the world. And if you are a returning viewer, hello again, nice to see you again. And I'm very happy to be making this video today because I have so much to show you. I have four finished objects that I'm going to show you. If you are new, just to remind you that this is my 43rd video, and very soon it will be podiversary. It will be 3 years that it will be 3 years that I've been making these videos. And I was reflecting on that, and I went back and watched my first 2 episodes when I was living in Istanbul, and I realized that in 3 years how it all progressed and how much my editing changed, the way I record the videos, what I talk about, and the length of the podcasts and everything. And I still find them quite interesting, even though I was just a beginner podcaster. I did show very interesting things and the city that I lived in, and then I'll tell you about how I moved to Bali and all that. So if you want to see the whole story that has happened to me and my knitting, crocheting and everything adventure for the last 3 years, go back to the first episodes. I think you'll enjoy them. So if you have watched them already, and if you're ready to see what's happening right now in my bubble, as they call it, so here I am to tell you. How have you been doing? Has it been hard or easy for you? Do you have little kids to look after at home and do their homework? And has it been stressful, or maybe you had lots of mindless knitting time because you are not going to work, or because you don't have to commute back and forth? In any case, I think you are here with me to just relax and maybe be inspired by some of the works that I showed you. Normally around this time when my baby is sleeping, I look through some podcasts, and I found a very interesting one that I'm going to share with you. And I like to see what other people are knitting so that it inspires me. I sometimes watch also some educational videos for moms, like how to entertain a 1-year-old or 18-month-old. That helps too. And right, I'm sitting in a new place, and here I have this cushion that I crocheted. I don't think I've showed it before, or maybe if I have, well, you'll just be reminded of it. It has been a long time. I was living back in Russia back then. It was more than 10 years ago now. And this pillow has traveled with me everywhere. And this was the pattern I found somewhere on the internet. And I just went to the shop and bought these colors and matched them the way I liked. And now it's a very useful pillow that we have here. So let's start. The finished objects. Yay! As you can see, one of them is here, but I'll leave it for dessert. Before, I want to show you my latest finished objects, which I finished yesterday. I made this in a week, so you haven't even seen it in the previous video. I've cast it on and I have finished it already. As you can guess, this is baby pants that I made for my daughter. Since we're in lockdown and there are no shops open, I have no way of getting her any woolen pants, and I realized that I don't have any for her size. I decided to make some, and I have this beautiful merino that Anna sent me from, she used to have a podcast, Dunkelgrün. So she sent me these 2 beautiful colors that I decided to match, and here we are. This is a design by Drops. You can find it on my Ravelry page. By the way, here is my Ravelry on Instagram if you want to follow me there and see what I'm up to. It starts with smaller needles and just a rib. Then the rib continues on each side of the leg, and then it's a very, very easy pattern. The only thing I didn't understand is this part, but when I saw the pictures of others, so there's 3 stitches in the middle and you do increases around them. and then you sew up the hole when the legs are done. So yeah, I changed the color because I thought it would be more fun, and she had already worn them yesterday. Now they just need blocking. I haven't blocked them yet. The next thing I want to show you started in the previous episode. It was a sock surgery. That's what I call this project. As you remember, I was showing you some socks that needed mending, and I think I have some small short videos to show you how this process happened. So the mending has started. This is this sock, and the other one was just as heavily mended plus a hole in here. So I cut off the whole foot thing, and now I decided to leave this part because it looks pretty good, but the rest I'm going to knit with a combination of this Sock Mortician edition, which is a lovely what's this? Yep, recycled yarn with possum, and this is Alize Angora Gold, which is mostly acrylic and 20% wool, and I'm thinking it will create a really nice fabric. Interesting and durable. Let's see. So now, here is the result. Ta-da! Both of these socks are now wearable, warm, and he has worn them already and enjoyed them. So, as you can understand, this part is from a previous sock, and I just reknitted the sole. And these are really lovely and warm, and I'm glad. I don't like thin socks with just 4-ply, although I'm knitting some at the moment, but I think these are warmer in a DK weight. That's why I combined the 2 threads. And I have also made a hat for a friend because she's due sometime beginning of next month, and she urgently texted me and said, Marina, what am I gonna do? My baby's coming, and I thought I had hats for babies from my previous baby, but apparently she gave them away, so I had to quickly knit her a little hat, and I did that by making 2 strands of this baby merino, and I have a short video of this little hat. It's a very simple beanie. The only thing is I struggled with the size because I remember babies are small, but their heads apparently are huge. I kept asking everyone, and turns out, yeah, you're like, the hat should be like this. Anyway, I made this hat and I gave it to her, and hopefully that she's not stressed about it anymore. She's all ready for the baby. It's so exciting, new babies, and oh, I miss that time. Now Lydia is, she's such an active 17-month-old very soon, and she's demanding a lot of attention. She loves reading books and running around everywhere, and it's very hard to entertain this one. But anyways, I found some time, and I have finished this sweater for my husband. It was about 10 days after his birthday, but I did it. I still did it. Ta-da! As I showed you last time, it was in pieces and I was dreading the sewing up, but a simple tutorial from Very Pink Knits and the mattress stitch worked out very nice. This is not blocked. Actually, I don't like blocking things. And I just don't like the idea of washing and drying this 1 kg of a sweater. So yeah, my husband liked it, thank God, and it fits him, thank God. I was so worried that it won't, because then I would have to undo and knit again and again, and I got tired of this project. As you can see, it consists of some ribbing and cables on the back and the front, and on the sleeves as well. I think at some point here I made a boo-boo. I made a mistake, or was it here? But I decided that it's fine, that I won't mind it. I was probably tired knitting it at night, and he liked it, so I said to him that it's gonna be the sign that this wasn't bought. There is a mistake. A mistake is a sign of handicraft. I'm just making that excuse not to reknit it, but do you do it sometimes? Like, do you notice a mistake when the whole thing is done and you rip back? I'm not bothered, really. I know he won't notice. Like, sometimes I would do my hair or put on makeup or change a dress and he wouldn't even notice. So he wouldn't notice something that's on his sleeve here. He's only focused on his screen because he's in with computers and everything. So yeah, very pleased with this lovely finished work. So I think I've told you all about my finished objects. Now let's go to whips. My whips are very easy today. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I will just tell you about 3. And let's start with I spy with my little eye something yellow. What do you think I made from this thing? So it started on an Easter Sunday morning. I thought, yes, I'm gonna make a very quick project for Easter, for my baby, for decorating the table. And I thought, I'm so good at crocheting, I'm just gonna invent the pattern. And here is how it started. It's Easter Sunday today, and I decided to make the traditional Russian Easter eggs, which is this plastic wrap that you wrap around a boiled egg. And I found some of my toys that I've made quite a while ago now. And I found this Easter card, which is great because I always buy in advance, and it's good because in the lockdown you couldn't really go and buy anything. So I only made 4 eggs this time because I know that my husband and my daughter are probably not going to eat them anyway. And last times when I did them, last year I didn't bother. But when we just moved here, I did, and I gave each egg to one of the neighbors. But the rest, they just stayed in the fridge forever. And this is a traditional Russian design for egg decorations. And this is not XB, this is HV, which means Christos Voskres, that Jesus Christ resurrected. And I decided to make this 1 egg in this style and the rest in a traditional Chochloma style. And now what I'm doing, you've probably noticed that I have a crochet hook, which is unusual. I'm usually a knitter, but I thought I would quickly make a little egg cover, a little chicken. And I was looking online for some tutorials, and looks like they are all made from DK weight, which I don't have in this color. So I'm gonna just see what they did and try to figure out something similar, but this will be my own design. And this reminded me of when I was little and I was making the dress for my Barbie girl. I just crocheted around, put the dress on. If it was too tight, and I undid it and made some increases, and this is what I'm gonna do. Here is my egg to see if it fits inside, and I'm just gonna try to make a little chicken that's gonna sit on top. We'll see. So just a little bit of progress. So what I did here, I chained I don't know how many stitches, and I just made a little loop, a circle out of it, and tried to fit the egg. It fit, and I know that I can wriggle it in because it's, even though it's bamboo cotton thread that I'm using, it's still a little bit stretchy. Then I did single crochets in each stitch and came back to the center, to the beginning point. Then I don't know why I decided to make a what's it called, a treble, I think. And the next row I'm just making double crochets. Then I continue doing double crochets until maybe like half of the height of the egg, and then I will do some decreases, and then I'm gonna try to figure out how to do the head and the tail. And this hook is number 2.5 millimeters, and this is just some yarn I brought from Bali with me. Давай, давай.
Молодец.
Молодец.
Умница.
Кто победил? Ты победила? О, Лида победила! Ура!
Bravo!
Bravo! It's later the same day and I've managed to make the body that looks okay and the head doesn't look okay. Now if you want to smile and laugh at what I made, then here it is. This is the worst chicken looking. I don't know what to call it. It's the worst thing ever. Like a barnacle. This is my freeform crocheting, so I finished here. I did some weird something over here for a tail. And then I didn't want to cut the thread, so I just crocheted to here. Made sort of a head. And I measured it. It does fit on an egg. The question is... See, that's why I don't crochet. That's why I knit. Because I'm much better at making these guys. See? That's what I am. Anyways, happy Easter everyone, and have a laugh at my expense. This is what happened. It's still at the stage of unfinished head. Somewhat. Does it even look like a chicken? Anyways, I thought this was not a total failure because it did make me laugh, and I think that if I do leave it for the next Easter, it's gonna make me laugh next time. So yeah, I thought I probably will finish it or ask my friend Liana to help me finish it. I don't know. The next whip is some bright socks that I picked up today because I wanted to actually custom something new, but then I noticed that I have these, and this is a perfect project for me right now. They're colorful and they're mindless, and that's what I need right now. Some color and not to think about anything. This is a very nice self-striping yarn from Darn Knit New Zealand, NZ, and I love her yarns. This is so much fun. This colorway is called Licorice All Sorts, as you can understand. And I could have done a heel that was a different solid color, but I wanted to see what happens if I don't. And actually I was lazy to do that. And I don't think I'm gonna bother with making this socks matching. No, I'm not. I can tell you that. So I'm just gonna continue and see what happens. So this is my whip number 2. Whip number 3. I don't think I started it last time, or have I? I don't remember, you guys. But here is my lavender cloud. I think, yes, I told you about it. So I've been knitting on my lavender cloud, and oh, there's lots of mess everywhere around here. But here we go. I have finished one sleeve. This is a very strange construction. I mean, strange in terms of the sleeves I worked first and then the whole body. But oh well. I guess she's a designer and she knows what to do. She also gives an option of making it in a round, but she advised to do it. Did I do it in a round? No, I made it flat and then I seamed it because I had these problems with tension in the previous cardigan, and I thought, oh well, I don't want to deal with that anymore. So here's the sleeve. Nothing much yet to talk about. And then I got tired of it. I actually feel like this sleeve is a bit too loose, but I guess the whole cardigan is a bit like very comfortable and very relaxed style. So I think I'll just continue. And I have only about 600 grams of this hand-dyed lavender color DK weight yarn, and I know it won't be enough because for the size that I'm knitting on I need a bit more, but I'm going to use my hand spun for that. And that brings us to some spinning. I have finished the second part of my 2-ply hand spun, where I combined the yarns that 100 grams that was dyed blue and 100 grams that was dyed purple. This is the end, so you can see that this is just the purple, and this is how it looks. Can't really see what you can see, but I hope you can see. I'm going to see how it works, but from what I can tell right now, this weight is not really DK. It looks a bit between sport and DK to me. Let's see. Although, actually no, you know, it could be the same. I hope you can see. I can't even see what I'm showing you. But anyway, I am planning to make the collar out of this gorgeous yarn. So the whole cardigan, let's try it on. Let's see how it's gonna work. So the whole cardigan is going to be purple. And then I will have this blue-purple collar. This is the design. As you can see, this is the collar, and I have no idea what else to do with it, and I thought, wow, why not to show it on the front of a cardigan that I made. I think that'll be nice. Once I finish this pattern, I will tell you if I recommend this pattern, but so far I see that each designer has a very different, and I haven't made many garments, right? Each designer has a very different style of explaining how to do a pattern, so sometimes it takes time to understand what they mean construction wise, but I guess I'm getting there. It's getting easier with each jacket or cardigan or something. So these were my whips, and yeah, 2 whips plus the crazy chicken, unfinished and really crazy. Anyway, yes, the new podcast that I wanted to advise you is by Edison, who is this really amazing and inspiring and very excited young girl. She's only 16. She lives in America, if I'm not mistaken, and her first episode was watched by like so many people. I don't remember how many, but it's called the Ruby and Roses, and she's only done like 5 or 6 episodes, and I watched them all in a row, and it was so cute. She's such a lovely young person, and I cannot believe that we have 20 years apart and she has achieved already so much. So she's knitting, and she's dyeing her own yarn, and she's studying as well, and she's only 16, and she's already done many shawls, and she started to design her own things. She's this really lovely and positive young girl that I'm sure you will enjoy if you're looking for something new to watch. So yeah, why not give her some love. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, as you know, I have a friend who is a great crocheter, and she makes all these amazing toys that I showed you in the previous podcast. She has also her own videos, and you can watch them. So anyways, she was so generous that she told me that she has this yarn that she's not going to use, and maybe I can make some nice garment with it. So she brought it here. We haven't even talked because everybody is supposed to stay in their own houses, and so she just dropped off this beautiful present for me and left, and I put it in quarantine somewhere in a sunny place for a couple of days until I took it out, and now I can fondle it. And this is I don't know, you can see how many colors and how many, and this is the Himalaya Deluxe bamboo, this beautiful super soft yarn, which has 250 meters in 100 gram. It's made in Turkey. It's 60% bamboo, 40% cotton, and it is very soft. And what I'm thinking of doing is some kind of summer, maybe a t-shirt maybe a blouse or something like that. I could have made a nice blanket or something, but I realized that the blankets that I make, especially the one that I was making like the beginning of this podcasts, I never really used it because I don't know, even though I started making it when I didn't even have a baby or have a husband. I did it and I had a baby and I never found a use for it. Anyways, I thought this would be a really lovely, something simple, like a simple design, maybe some stripes of knitting and purling and changing these colors. I don't think I will use this color though. I like these pastel colors. And I am so grateful. Thank you, Liana. Thank you so much. I have decided that I'm going to keep track of all the stash that I'm using up. And since I promised myself that this will be the year of not buying any yarn, I have been good this far. I have not bought anything. And I knitted up 1 kilogram of, where are you going, this sweater? So this contributes to minus 1 kg from my yarn stash. Plus I've knitted up other things and I was going to calculate it. Maybe I'll calculate and write it later. But this adds up to mine. So I've gained some weight in my yarn diet, but I don't mind. It's beautiful, it's free. It's going to be something lovely. Next thing I wanted to talk to you about was some patterns that I find exciting and that I just printed out. Normally I don't print out any patterns because I want to save the paper and basically I don't want, you know, garbage around. But with my daughter, every time I turn on the computer just to look at what is the next row on the pattern, if like she's playing with me, she just immediately takes over the computer and I cannot have it happen. So anyways, I've printed out some of the patterns and I wanted to show them to you. So maybe if you're looking for something, you would be inspired. So this is what I'm working on at the moment. This is another beanie that I made, and I made 2 of these actually. And I'm going to make a 3rd one because the, actually, I'll show you the one I made and maybe you can have a better idea. I like this beanie because it has, how many sizes? Up to 12 years. Oh yes, an adult as well. So there are many sizes for this one. It's knitting for Olive. I found it on Ravelry. And it's such an addictive lacy pattern. It's super easy. Hold on. Here it is. Isn't it gorgeous? I showed it to you once I made it, but now it's the season to wear hats again. And even though I made it for a 2-year-old, it seems like it's just good for her. So I was thinking of making up a bigger size for when she grows out of it, because she started to grow so fast. So, and then I thought, why not make myself one? Because I like the pattern and I have lots of this pink mohair thread that I don't know what to do with it. So I thought I would combine white and this and get something like that. And I have this project that I've been wanting to cast on for a lot of time now. It's by Libby Johnson, the Truly Merle, and it's called Timely. Well, many knitters in New Zealand have made one of these already, and it looks fantastic. And I think the moment I decided that I have to make it was when I saw Margaret dyeing up some yarn for it. And Margaret, if you're watching it, please show me what is happening with that project. I'm really excited to see how your Paua colors are working. Paua is this native New Zealand shell, which, how can I explain? If you Google it, you'll find it. Anyways, there's a blue, purplish blue, and greenish colors mixed up, and they look gorgeous. So I'm now looking at through my stash and thinking about different colors that I can use up here. But the problem is that if I have enough for the main color, I don't have enough for the contrast. So I don't know what to do. If I could maybe do this part shorter, or the sleeves in one color, or I don't know. But I would really love to cast it on. It looks like a very, very fun project. Let me see if there's another picture. Yes, there it is. Another pattern that caught my attention is this one. Oh, gorgeous. It's Andrea Maury's Stone Crop Cardigan. And it looks fantastic because of all the color work and all the bubbles, and I'm sure it's not an easy pattern. But you know what the thing is? That this is a cardigan version, and she says that it's knitted around and then sticked. So one thing I can do is learn to stick and do it as the pattern says. Two, I can make a pullover, and then I'll just knit it around and wear it like that. So I don't have to stick it, I don't have to do the buttons, and just wear it like that. And since I was making all these baby hats, well, not all of this, but this one that I reknitted, I went to my collection of beanies and I found this wonderful, wonderful hat, the anemone hat that I wanted to make. And as I noticed that although Lydia is good with wearing hats, she sometimes still pulls them off, or I can see that her ears become open, and it's really windy here to the point that her toys are being blown off our pavement there. So I thought a hat with some lace, or what do you call it, ribbons to tie up here would be a better way to protect her ears, because we don't want an ear infection. Oh, you know what happened? Oh my God. I think it was about 10 days ago or something. One evening we were just getting ready for sleep and everything was fine until my husband decided, oh, you know, maybe she's a little bit hungry, and he was having some walnuts, so he gave her some walnuts. And then she had the most horrific reaction to them. She's tried almonds before, and peanuts and pine nuts, and she was fine. But with almonds, I don't know what happened, but she started crying. She started to rub her eye, and it puffed up, and it was completely closed. We were so freaked out. We called the ambulance, and I was actually not sure whether to call it, because it was like in the middle of this, you know, lockdown and the crisis with all this, you know, virus and everything going on. But we called them, and they said, good job you called them, because with kids you never know. She might have had a stronger reaction, and thankfully it was nothing. Her breathing was fine, but she vomited and she had hives and she was crying, and it was so scary, so scary. Oh my God. And these two doctors came and they stayed with us for over an hour to make sure that she was fine, constantly checking her vital signs and her breathing, and oh, and she was fine. But oh my God, we got such a scare. We got so scared. Why did I start talking about it? I don't know. Just wanted to share with you about things that happened in this past couple of days. So otherwise, we've been at home. It's been boring. So what I've been doing is knitting, as you can see, and dreaming about the new things that I'm gonna knit. Here is another thing that I really want to make. I just want to show you the picture. Isn't this the cutest picture? Like, my favorite part in my daughter is this neck, and I always, when I hug her, I like kissing her right here. You know, this part. Oh, it's the most delicious part of a baby. That's why I think this picture is so beautiful. And I want to make something for her and for me to have matching. I think I talked about it in the previous podcast. So yeah, last pattern that might inspire you to make something like that, or maybe will make you go and look at Heidecker Myers patterns is this Morning Sky tee, and I love the simplicity of it and how it is one color. I love color, but at the same time I don't have many basic things like this one, you know, just one color, very versatile, that you can use with jeans, skirt, or with anything. So this pattern calls for decade of sport weight, and luckily enough I have 2 skeins of this gorgeous alpaca sock yarn from Skeins. And this, my friends, is called Breeze Alpaca Sock, 100 grams, so I have 200 grams. And this is 60% alpaca, 20% woolworth, and 20% nylon in 476 meters. So I checked for my size, I would need, if I double this, I would have the amount of meters that I need to make this tee. The only thing is it's exactly that amount, and I'm afraid that I may not have enough because it starts from the bottom up and it finishes here. So I'm thinking that I would still risk it, because sometimes I think the designers like add a little yardage to whatever they have in the pattern. And secondly, if I don't have enough, I would just add, I have a different color of this the same brand. I have a purplish and a pinkish one, so I can just have like a border here and maybe add it onto the bottom of the shirt as well. Or maybe I'll have enough and it will be just one colored nice warm tee. I just love the lace on it. Let me see if I can show you better the lacy part. Well, here's the back. I don't know if you can see. Is there another picture? Well, you get the idea. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I cannot wait to start with it. The thing is that now I've finished all these socks and sweaters and pants for everyone around me, I really want to start making something for myself. And even though I like this lavender cloud project and these socks, well, these are just for when my daughter is asking me to read a book and I'm like, I learned them all by heart. So what I do is I tell her, okay, open the book, and then as I tell the story by heart, I'm making one row. This is my way of coping with the whole no time for knitting while you have a baby thing. And I don't even have to look, although these are my higher sharps, so they're splitting the yarn sometimes, so I kind of have to look. Or I can cast on a new project with my gorgeous yarn from the stash. Like the other day I was so stressed that she wasn't eating well because she's teething and she was making all the mess, and then I said to my husband, okay, I need some therapy. And what I did was I went to the room where I keep my yarn, I opened the box and I took them one by one out, and I didn't even mind that she was around playing with me or asking me to read books. I just put my hands in all the squishy alpaca and merino and cotton, and immediately I felt so relaxed. Do you do it sometimes? Do you cuddle your yarns to just, you know, get the stress off? I think this is a good advice if you sometimes feel stressed or something. All right, I think that's all I wanted to tell you. And as I haven't been out that much, I really wanted to show you outside, but maybe another time. The question for today is just tell me, how are you and what are you knitting on? I really like reading your comments, and it feels like a letter from a dear friend when I see that there is someone on the other side of this video who is watching, not just watching, but also giving me some feedback So thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope to see you very soon in the next episode. Stay safe, stay at home, and see you soon. Bye bye.